Shai Franklin is a senior fellow at the Dietrich Bonhoeffer Institute and joins us live from New York. Shai, good to see you.
Great to be back.
You know, U.S. intelligence has been proven effective during this war, and also pieces of these drones end up on the ground. So despite Iran's and Russia's denials, is there any reason to doubt that these things have come from Iran?
There's no reason to doubt it. The the market, the international production of these kinds of drones is limited to a few countries, and the quantities are such. And also, there was one of the official Russian news shows some hours ago. Before they realized that they were on live, they were talking about how they weren't going to discuss that the drones are from Iran. They weren't going to talk about it, although of course they know the drones are from Iran. I mean, they've got the labeling on them, so and it's irrefutable at this point. The Secretary General of the United Nations is sending some inspectors, and Russia has said that if he sends inspectors to Ukraine to take a look at the wreckage to determine where they came from, that would undermine Russia's cooperation with the Secretary General.
Iran has so many problems of its own, and if there's one thing that it likes to complain about, it's the effect of Western sanctions on it. Why would it want to get involved with this now? What could the benefit possibly be to it?
Iran's approach, on the one hand, on a high level, has always had a certain strategy to it, but the style of leadership, of diplomacy, of military strategy has always been very opportunistic as well, sometimes to their own detriment. When they were trying to repair relations with Gulf nations 30 years ago, they still took the opportunity to seize some islands in the Gulf when they had a dispute with the United Arab Emirates, and they just landed some boats because nobody was there at the time, so they claimed the islands. It undermined their critical relationships with the Emirates, with the Saudis, but they still did it because it was an opportunity. They're hard pressed for cash. I'm not sure how much hard currency Russia has these days, but they also see that on a higher level. Again, they do see an alliance, an axis with Russia, with North Korea, and with a couple of other countries, maybe Venezuela. It's kind of crazy. It's like the sort of it's becoming these marginal leftover countries. The fact that Russia is now threatening the heart of Europe and Iran is with it, of course, puts them into a different class than, say, Venezuela or North Korea.
You know, just a couple of weeks ago, there were some positive messages coming out of both sides on potentially reviving the nuclear deal. Does this now effectively kill it?
It's hard to say. Russia is, as one of the five permanent members of the Security Council, Russia remains critical to getting such a deal back on its feet. In fact, the sanctions that have been imposed on Iran now by the European Union and the United Kingdom go back to that original Iran deal, which President Trump, took the United States out of because it wasn't doing enough to stop ballistic missiles. Well, it was stopping this kind of technology from being transferred out of Iran and into Iran. So the European nations are still party to the deal. They are enforcing it. Uh, what does it mean for Iran? It means that they are going to be, yeah, they're going to be sanctioned more. It puts Iran now. It's not just Iranian drones; it's Iranian personnel that are on the ground in Crimea. There's stuff the United States can do to interdict, to stop, to disrupt, to destroy factories in Iran. Drone factories are not buried deep underground like, say, nuclear facilities are. So they would be relatively easy to hit. They would be relatively easy to disrupt with computer viruses and things like that.
Hmm.
And now it's interesting. The Israelis are in a different situation because, on the one hand, they didn't want to get involved in the Ukraine-Russia conflict. On the other hand, uh, Iran is using drones against Israel, and now they're using drones against Ukraine. So we'll see in the next few days if Israel does come around to providing some more substantive
Hmm.
equipment and technology to take down these Iranian drones.
All right, Shai Franklin, always good to talk to you.
Thank you.